Hello and welcome to another episode of Leader's Kitchen. Tonight I'm going to be carrying on with the tapas series. I'm going to be doing a tapas meatballs. So quick whiz round the ingredients. I've got a few breadcrumbs here, an onion, and I've got a beef and pork mince mix, paprika, cumin and a little milk. Then I'm going to be making a tomato sauce later on to actually cook the meatballs in. So all I'm going to do with this breadcrumbs is give them a little milk to soak up. So whilst they soak up, I'm just going to prep an onion. So all I'm going to do whilst that's soaking is prep an onion by finely slicing it. Well, not slicing it, finely cutting it up. So with those very finely cut up onions into a bowl, like so, and then in with the mince. As I said, this is a pork and beef mixed mince. So with clean hands, what we're going to do is just mix the onions through, breaking up the mince a little bit. So into that we're going to put these milk soaked breadcrumbs. What we're trying to do is just try and get the breadcrumbs and not all the milk. There's still a fair bit of milk in there, but don't want it too sloppy. Just going to put an egg in here in a minute as well. So what these breadcrumbs do mixed in milk is going to add a bit of softness to the actual meatballs in the end. So let me quickly wash my hands. So what we're going to put into here to start with, we're going to put about half a teaspoon or so of salt, quite a few grinds of black pepper, about a good teaspoon of ground cumin, and then I'm going to put in good 2 heaped teaspoons of paprika. So, and again, we're going to need to mix this up. And I'm going to make the meatballs and place them on this tray. Let's mix this up to start with. So what we need to now do is make the actual meatballs. And Spanish meatballs are quite small because you want to be able to basically near enough pop a whole one in your mouth. So about the size of a ping pong ball, little smaller. So at this stage what you can actually do is you can actually freeze these meatballs to cook later. Okay, so now it's time to make the sauce. So what I've got here is got an onion which I'm going to finely cut up again, a clove of garlic, and what we're going to do is we're going to fry some of the meatballs off in a frying pan, remove them, and then start making the sauce, which is a very basic tomato sauce. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fry some of the meatballs off in a frying pan. I'm actually going to also put some of the meatballs in a airtight bag and put some in the freezer for later on. Okay, so the pan's now nice and hot. In with a good slug of olive oil. I'm going to turn the pan down a bit because that's been on flat out, heating up. And then we're going to just fry off these meatballs just on the outside. Ow, that's warm. Just so they become golden brown. I can't quite get all of them in one hit. Doesn't matter, you can fry them off in batches as well. So into the same frying pan that we've been cooking the meatballs, we're going to put the onion and wait a minute or so, and then we'll put the garlic in. So in with the garlic, and we're going to give that a little fry for a minute or two. Okay, so if you look in the bottom of the pan, you'll see there's lots of bits of meat and stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan. It's not burnt, this is just what happens when you fry meat. What we're going to do is we're going to deglaze the pan with a splash of red wine. So, pour the red wine in. Oh, the camera's steamed up. Just camera a quick wipe. And what we want to do is trying to get all of that meat flavour, so that's what it is, off the bottom of the pan. So you can see it's coming off the bottom of the pan quite easily. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce that red wine down to almost nothing. Keep the lens clean. And as I've said before, if you can't drink it, don't cook with it. As you can see, I'll turn that pan back down, that liquid's almost completely gone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few little sprig of thyme in there, and a little squirt of tomato puree, there's about a tablespoon or so of tomato puree there. Cook that around. I'm making a complete and utter mess of my hob, which the girlfriend's going to love. Not. So, and in we go with a tin of chopped tomatoes. Turn that down. Okay, at this point we also want to put in a good pinch of salt, a few grinds of black pepper, okay, we're trying to make sure we break up all these bigger bits of tomato. And then back in with the meatballs and all the juices that have come out of them as well. What we're going to do effectively is poach the meatballs in the tomato sauce. What I have almost forgotten is I forgot to add some more paprika. So we need to add some paprika to tomato sauce. So it's about a teaspoon and a half. I'll stir that through in a second. Try not to break the meatballs up. Okay, so we need to let those poach for about 15-20 minutes or so. So there you have it. The meatballs are now done. They've been cooking for about 15-20 minutes in the in the sauce, and that's it. We're ready to go. If you like this recipe, please give the thumbs up. I'm going to be doing more on the tapas series soon, so please click subscribe and the bell next to it so you get notified of more videos coming.